Good afternoon, beauties. I was reading an article. I don't know if it is a Glean Online or Observe. I didn't bother to check. And it started this way. Backbencher Robert Montague with his sotto voce voice. For those who don't know what sotto voce, it's a musical. Well, we use it in music, meaning very quiet, like a quiet sort of singing. Like you're singing very powerful and you crescendo and you just come down on a sort of a sotto voce. You know, very quiet and nice and serene sort of singing for a moment. We call it the sotto voce. So Minister Montague stated, based on the article, hang them then, because I saw the quotation. And when Minister Chuck says, no, we will not hang the children, because they're children here, even though it says between 14 and 17, they're still children. They're still children. As far as I know, they're not adults. It's when you're 18, they consider you adult. Even though they say in Jamaica, the age of consent is 16 for certain things. Because they tell you, even though they say you begin to become an adult at 18, is when you're 21, it's like you're now that full-blown adult sort of a thing. You know, like when them tell the people, them say them have full-blown AIDS. So, and it says you rebutted after Minister Delroy Chuck basically throw aside what you're saying. No, we cannot do that. Minister Montague, I don't think you listen to yourself. I'm wondering if you actually wear hearing aids and it was not turned on, during a certain section. Maybe you did, maybe. I don't know. And I'm not being facetious. I'm really not being rude. I'm not disrespecting your position as whatever it is that you are. I don't know, because the article said backbencher Robert Montague. The only times I used to hear that term backbenchers was a very religious term, that if you strayed, if you sinned, especially, great and grave sins that, back in the day people would have considered grave, like if you stole, if you committed murder, if you committed adultery, fornication, and get pregnant out of wedlock, they backbench you. So you can't participate in church. Everybody know, like back in the day when you're dunce, they put a dunce cap over your head and put you over the corner and everyone knows, all right, this is a dunce bat here. I don't want to be like that dunce bat. Let me remind you of something, because perhaps you have forgotten. And so when you not still live with them Obia people, what you say is an Obia person in your family again? Are your uncle or who? You don't bother with them something there again? Eh? You don't bother. Alright, let me tell you something. The scripture says, if you harm any of these children, it is better that you put a milestone, some may say, a noose around your neck and jump off into the sea. And I say so, when Jesus was speaking to everybody, including the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the scribes, the zealots, all of them, he said, so when the very religious at the time disciples, because they had to learn how to be a Christian, then they hit tough like many a we, and not just we alone, we hard to learn when we hit tough. Remember, see a big people when Jesus called them a big non-Christian and a fisherman and tax collector, some seriously flawed people. So they hard to learn it cake up the evil and the wickedness cake up in them soul, and they were pushing aside the picking of them, and Jesus said, no bother with that, unless you're like them, the little picnic there, you will not see the kingdom of heaven. No, I've often said, you can go and read Jean Piaget's child development stage processes, or the phases of child development, and Vygotsky. I'm going to encourage you to go and read it so much. You see, the picking of them where you see kĩll and do all sort of mayhem between the ages of whether 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, up to 17, or even in the early 20s. It is what they were exposed to. It is how they were trained. Many of them were contracted to do that. You know why the term was coined young but don't know hurricane? People only think that because young people don't really know danger. That is why they will tell you that if a young person holds you up with a gun, versus an older person, the emotional intelligence of that older person, even if he's dunce, illiterate, fool, dark, back to sort of mentality, he's still because of life's experiences, you can still reason with him, have a conversation and say, brother, come on, man. You understand life. So you may be able to talk him down. The younger one has not experienced life in its fullness. His emotional intelligence state is still in its embryonic stage. So you can't reason with him. And that is why they will still kill Minister Montague. Remember, you did young already, Now you're, what is it? You're old? Or you're semi-old? Or you're semi-old? I don't know what age you are. right? And I'm not sure if you're different from when you were 10 versus now. I'm not sure if you're different when you were 18 versus now. I'm not even sure you're different if you're 40 versus I don't know you. But that comment, and you even, when he said, no, we can't, I think Minister Chuck wanted you to sit down and think about what you're saying. You know, we'll kill them or hang them or what. I think he wanted you to say, hello, hello. Like when people have beat microphones, please stop beating microphones. You damage it. You say test. You speaking to microphones. I'm putting everything in one. And like when the people mash up the microphone, the man I say hello. He was trying to do that to you to get your attention, not once but twice or maybe thrice or even more than 3 times to say, brother, what you really are say? Him can't say it the way then he has to be professional because he's in Parliament or wherever which part them catch up. You know, I said, brother, think about what you say. Think carefully, Minister Montague, the backbencher. In your sotto voce voice. So why say it sotto voce? Why? Why say it sotto voce? Why, sir? You should have been bold and brave. Talk about, you know, to kill those young murderers. Kill them, get rid of them. I hope that if you're going to run with that mantra, sir, please carry it for the ones who are older, whether you're upper class, lower class, or middle class. If you're going to run with that mantra, because murderers don't only come in youth, they come in middle age and they do come in old as well. All right, and you know, it is like when the Bible talks about spiritual forces or spiritual wickedness in high places. Even though it is talking about a more spiritual things, it still links back to humans. A lot of people who are in the upper echelon are involved in things that are heinous, diabolical, evil, wicked, or when Jamaicans say evilous, when they pass evil, they have to say evilous. So I hope that mantra that you have promulgated against the young, against the youth, who basically were taught to be the way they say were, you hear? And they never just turn. So anybody where you see behave a particular way in life is what they're exposed to, because children are blank slates and then they're filled up by adults, you hear? And whatever they constantly see and they're exposed to, because they learn through their 5 senses, for those who have all their 5 senses. Predominantly the seeing sense is the strongest of all. And then the smell, because whatever we smell, it sends a message to the brain to say if it's good or bad. Or I don't like that one, or I do like this smell, because you can have some good sense that people are not, they don't have an affinity to. Like, you know, I always remember this long time perfume called Amarige. I just can't, it's tea, it no move. Everywhere you go, it just follow me for more than my shadow. I mean, I like Amarige. I hate it with a passion. Right? No disrespect to the perfume company, just for me personally. But Minister Montague, somehow they took your brain out and they gave it to the people who work at the farm, work overseas to walk on it for a while, and then they brought it back to you without fixing it. Because to make such a comment tells me that something is wrong with your equilibrium. Tells me that something is wrong, you know. Let me give you the benefit of doubt. You had a speech impediment. Somehow you were trying to say something else and there was a dyslexia that chipped in and turned the words around. You meant to hug them. Oh, I think that's what you meant, Minister Montague. You must have meant hug them, because they really lack love, you know, in the homes. They lack love and they need love. They need affection and they need attention, so that it can reduce the anxieties in them, it can reduce the fears in them, and it can reduce the aggression in them. Is hug and no hang? No, man. People are dyslexia and their experience. You hear people are trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, because he certainly, his entire head took a walk and left the mouth and the teeth and the tongue to just utter nonsense and garbage and evil and wicked. They're picking them tons so, because of who know. When I say who know, adults turn them so. Then tons so, because adults cause them to be that way. Them neither just bant and tan so. Even if a curse, the generation curse, check the family, because God said I'm going to make the generation, and it's based on what they experience of the him say make the curses fall on the generation of the rebellious, and whatever they display, the picture them carry it out further. You're not easy, Guys, follow me on TikTok. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share this message.